Oh, hello there. Hello, everybody. How are you this fine, lovely, lovely day? Did you like the kitties and the puppies in the intro? Did they talk you into hitting that thumbs up? Come on, do it, do it. Hit the like, hit the like. And so yeah, there's so much going on right now. Um, we're just gonna dive right on in. Okay. We're just gonna dive right on in. So how about this journalist is, I guess, checking around on the Epstein files, and lo and behold, she comes across something mysterious. Her own freaking name. She finds her own name in the Epstein files. Here, I guess the Department of Justice and the government was stalking her for some reason. And we're going to find out why. But it's very, very creepy. It's very creepy. So I suggest if you guys are perusing through the Epstein files to check for your own name. If you're a journalist or somebody who is making a splash, at any point in time trying to expose Epstein, you might want to check for your own name because it seems as though something's going on there. We're going to check about her. We're going to look at her story. And also, I came across a video for one of these Somalian daycare centers that have recently been exposed for their millions and millions of dollars. Well, what did he say that governor or whoever, he said 9 billion? Somebody said $9 billion in fraud. But there was one guy who actually posted that he was part of this daycare thing, and they need more funding, not less. He was saying they need more funding for their daycares. He said, um, nobody's at the daycares because they have to get them set up. They gotta buy crayons and stuff like that, and they just, like, don't have enough crayons right now. And so they need more funding to get enough crayons, and then they can have all the kids come in to the daycare center or something to that sort. We're gonna look at that too. There's, quite a bit, quite a bit. I'm sorry if you're on vertical and you can't see these, things I'm posting. They get really small. It makes everything super small. I wish Streamyard would fix it and make it so that things can be bigger, but right now everything's going to be tiny. But I do have this on a regular live stream as well. It's not a vertical, it's just the regular, I guess, you know, um, what is it, 16:9 version. So it's the bigger version. You can see everything a lot bigger. The link to that, I think G Keyman put it in the comment section, but the link to that is in the comment section. If you just scroll up a bit, you can find the link to the, bigger screened version of this. But hello, G Keyman. Thanks for tuning in. And Truth Hearts. Thank you. Thank you. And anybody else who's tuned in to the chat. Let me see if I can put the chat up on screen here. I'm trying to make this bigger so I can see what you guys are seeing so I don't mess it up. All right. Let's put the chat up. There it is. There it is. All right. So, if you're a jerk in the chat, everybody's gonna see it because it'll be right here on the screen. All right. Well, let's have a look at some of these. Have a look at some of this news articles because there's some crazy, crazy stuff going on right now. All right. So let me pull this up. Boom. Where are we at? All right. So this is a post from Elon Musk, and he's saying that Minnesota Representative Ilhan Omar's net worth in 2019 was $45,000. And in 2025, it's now 30 million. Now 30 million. She's not in on anything, right? She's not in on anything shady. Not at all. And that Nick Shirley is the guy, the kid who uncovered this Somalian daycare fraud, and somebody actually posted, "Give Nick Shirley, the 23-year-old hero, 2% rewards from the discovered funds to fuel his next bombshell, who's in." And it says Nick Shirley exposed over 110 million plus in the Minnesota daycare fraud in one day. Ghost centers sucking taxpayer money. And I do think he should get a little reward from the discovered funds. I feel like that would be something nice for that kid. And Nick says there are true serious threats on him at the moment. And I find it really disturbing that there are threats on this kid. I mean, obviously, I mean, obviously, I guess the daycare centers, maybe the people running them are threatening him. I mean, I don't know. I would hope it wasn't coming from within the government ranks or anything like that, which I don't think it would. I don't see a reason why it would. But it just leaves me to wonder, what are the threats against him right now? That's very strange to me that he's, getting some type of threats. It's disturbing. It's disturbing to say the least. So yeah, I do say give him 2% of that reward money, or 2% of that 110 million. It's the least they could do. What are they going to use it for? To fund daycare centers in other states? I mean, I don't what? To put it back into the government? Um, so Cash Patel can get another fleet of whatever. They spend so much money on cars and what have you. And this post came from Project Constitution, and he was talking about just a lot of the Charlie Kirk theories, which we will return to that once I talk about this daycare stuff, because I want to show you the post that kid put up, that guy put up, complaining about the daycare centers needing more money. And oh yeah, here's a fun one. So armslist.com posted, due to the excessive amounts of government corruption, who thinks we should just stop paying taxes? The government fails to demonstrate legitimacy. And how TF do you take 40% of everyone's income and still run up a $38 trillion debt? And 87.7% of everybody seeing this post voted we should all stop paying. And I do believe there is a third way. I voted we should all stop paying, but I think there is a third way to do things. I wonder if I could change my vote. Let's see. Can I change my vote? No, it's too late. Yeah, I already voted for it, so whatever. But I think there could be a third way to do things. And a lot of people are complaining that taxes should be canceled for the foreseeable future. Not one more penny should be paid to the federal government until they can get their shit together. We are expected to balance our own checkbook. The same should be done with them. Fraud scam, fraud scam, fraud scam, fraud scam. And then we've got a post about Nick Shirley doing a better job than these two, which, I mean, I think that was just proven. What do you guys think? Do you think he proved he did a better job than these two idiots? I think so. I think so. From jump. Like in one day, he just went around and exposed this shit. And then they jump on the story after it's, after it's done and try to post about it. I can't stand it. That's more Turning Point USA stuff. I want to find that. Here's another one. Wow, the Ohio State attorney confirms massive fraud in Ohio, another hotbed for Somalis. They run fake home health and bill $250,000 per year per family when no work is actually being done. It also happens in PA. And I believe that. Because I know legitimate people that do this type of work who don't get paid very much at all, certainly not $250,000 a year. Okay. They don't get paid hardly anything at all for doing this type of work. And, they're legitimately busting their butt, had to leave a job paying more money because they have loved ones to care for. And now they don't make shit. But, all these people that are committing this fraud, they're making $250,000 a year. And they pay their workers, probably maybe 50 of that. It's pathetic. And that's only the ones that are actually working. Maybe they have fake ones mixed in. I really don't know. But if the funding is going for these things and they're not actually caring for people, this should be exposed 100%. And here's another one about taxes. Not a single one of Epstein's client list has been arrested for trafficking on underage people. But if a single mom working 2 jobs to survive cheats on her taxes, she's locked up, bank accounts seized, and wages garnished because that's what the government considers justice. It's getting really annoying. Sasquatch, hello. How are you? And Chuck Soup is here. What's up, guys? Just complaining about the government over here on this channel. The rich people. We complain about the rich people over here. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, it has been revealed that the Quality Leering Center, because it wasn't the Learning Center people, it was the Leering Center. It was investigated more than a dozen times by Minnesota's Department of Human Services. And wait till you hear where the one phone number for one of these daycare centers goes. You're going to shit. You are going to shit, I'm telling you. So it's been investigated dozens of times by the Department of Human Services between 2019 and 2023. They've gotten 95 violations, yet it still received more than $8 million. It says someone inside the DHS was helping them. Let's take a listen.
But it still received nearly. I started by visiting Quality Learning Center Daycare.
So it is that 14B.
Which sits right in the heart of downtown Minneapolis. Between 2019 and 2023, the Minnesota Department of Human Services found 95 violations at this location. They range from failure to keep hazardous items away from children to no records for 16 children, which include things like immunizations, emergency contacts, and medical needs. So state investigators placed Quality Learning Center on a conditional license in 2022. I went to the daycare's location several times, and only once did I see people there.
Oh, that's your daycare.
But I did not see any children.
So there are 80 kids in there?
No.
After school? Okay, gotcha. All right, thank you.
DHS declined an interview, but in a statement acknowledged Quality Learning Center was put on a conditional license because of its poor safety record. But it still received nearly $8 million in taxpayers' money since 2019. Its conditional status removed in 2024.
That's pretty interesting, huh?
I started
they contact them and they have no comment. I'm going to tell you what, it's getting pretty annoying. It's getting pretty annoying just to listen to this continuously. Yeah, this guy had me too. He's an American small business owner in the food industry, and he's beyond angry. Somalian immigrants are getting unlimited funding, SBA loans and grants for fake daycare centers and other companies, while many veteran-owned businesses are denied funding. They're denied funding. Our very own veterans, okay? The people that go over and fight in all these wars, gets messed up in the head, come back, have a hard time working. Maybe they want to just start their own business so they don't have to be whatever, trying to make a life for themselves. When they get back, they can't even get a loan, but they're given all this funding to everybody else's businesses. I thought we could maybe listen to his rant, but he's pretty pissed, like, to say the least. We'll listen to a little bit of it. It's a little bit long, but I do want to listen to a small piece of it.
Somebody got some explaining to do, okay? We got so many veterans who can't even get a small business loan. We got so many Americans who were born in this country can't even get a small business loan. They can't even get a business grant. They can't get no money from the government at all. And then these dirty ass Somalians come over here, okay? Not all of them, but the ones that's committing fraud. Those dirty ass Somalians come over here, haven't put any work into this country, haven't paid any damn taxes, okay? Then they get millions and millions and millions on top of millions of dollars.
That's the thing too, guys, that really sets me off, is the fact that they don't even pay taxes. They don't even have to pay taxes, or the amounts that they do are very minimal. I mean, obviously that when they're shopping and things, they pay taxes for that kind of stuff. But I mean, the huge tax breaks. And then on top of that, they get all these grants. These are things they don't have to pay back. They get grants for their business. They get money from the government to help them start their lives. But the people who sign up to serve this country, they're not able to get that. They're not. But if you just come here from somewhere else, I mean, and it's not even really, you can't even really say it's the Somalians' fault. I really don't, I can't really blame them for what they're doing. Okay. This is how they want to make their money. They know there's a way to do it. And so they come over here and they do it. They're pretty smart. But you know what? It's our government's fault for allowing this to happen, for this to even be a program, for this to even be a way for them to make money. I can't get pissed at them. Come on. If somebody said to you, you could go over to another country, get full funding, start a business, get all this, and your country sucked. I mean, hello, that'd be, sign me up. Let's go. Let's do it. And so they come over here and they do it and they take advantage of it, but it's not their fault. I mean, yeah, they're assholes for doing it. They're assholes for participating, but come on. Why wouldn't you? A government's going to give you all this shit just for coming there and starting a business? Hell yeah, sign me up. It's our government's fault for even having these types of programs in place, for even having like the statistics to be, this is, who they allowed to get these grants and things. That's not the Somalians' fault. They're just doing what they want to do to get some money, and, they can come over here and do it. What's up, dial up? He said, what's up, fellow crazies? Got that right. You got that right. We're all nuts over here. You might as well. You're already admitting you're crazy if you show up. But come on. And exactly, David said, there's no such thing as free. Someone has to pay for this shit. And you are right. We pay for it. We're paying for it. We're paying for all this stuff out of our, the taxes we pay. It's just absolutely disgusting anymore. It truly is. It's truly disgusting. How do these Somalians learn these loopholes? I don't know. I think pretty much they get it from the years and years of being able to do it. And people just say, hey, they call their relatives and their relatives' friends and whoever, and come on over. You wouldn't believe it. It's so easy. You could stay with me. They don't mind staying together till they get a place. And yeah, scamming 101, basically. And you really can't, like I said, I mean, it's messed up, and I'm pissed off that we're finding out they did all this, but I'm not even really pissed at them, because if you're going to offer it to us, we would take it. We'd be like, oh my God, yes. Like, sign me up. That's so easy. That's great. That's a great way to do this. Hell yeah. And so they jump on board and they all want to do it. And it's just disgusting that our government allows it to continue to go on. A stat on immigration: we schedule 675,000 legal immigrants a year, with family and other exceptions. It's about 1 to 1.2 million. Why isn't that enough for leftists? I don't even I totally get it, Della, but I just don't even know why there's left and right anymore. I think at this point that's over with for a lot of people, because I feel like we're all just basically united under this same umbrella of quit taking our money and giving it to foreigners. Quit scamming us. Quit lying to us about everything. Quit just, ending people's lives because you don't like what they're exposing. I think we're all just pretty sick of this whole system and everything nowadays. It's crazy. I think it's all getting ready to break. The dam is getting ready to break, in my opinion, because there's way too many people that are really pissed off at this point. There's so many people that they can't ignore it anymore. They really can't, unless they put out some type of virus to kill a bunch of us off, I guess. But that's about it. Let's hear some more of this rant.
To start a business that don't even exist.
I know.
When you got Do you not know how many small business owners right now could use a damn loan, could use a government grant?
Yeah, even just to like spruce up the small business that they've got that they're struggling with, you know, I'm sure. Oh my God, could you imagine if you're just struggling that little bit to get things to take off? You know, you just need that you just need a little bit of help. That's all you really need. And you could really take your business to the next level. You'd be independent. Da 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 da. You can't even get that. Can't even get that. And why? Well, because the funding is already taken.
And we got to pay business tax, this tax, that tax, sales tax, this and that in the third.
And I really thought, okay, when I really thought that once these tariffs went into place, I thought that perhaps the tariffs would cover a lot of our taxes. You know, they would say, hey, you know, we were getting all these tariffs in, let's lower some taxes for our people. And yeah, it didn't happen. So I don't understand what the point of the tariffs are if they're not going to lower our taxes with some of that money that they're getting. I mean, all they would have to do is clean up all these types of scams and shit. Quit paying these politicians absorbent amounts of money. Look, most of these people, in Senate and Congress and things, they are allowed to vote on things that influence the market. They know what the vote's going to be. They know what they're going to decide. They know what they're going to make the new rules for the market and for crypto and for everything else. And they're still allowed to invest in crypto and invest in the market. Well, of course, they're going to know the trends. Of course, they're going to know what's about to, you know, pop off and make them money. So, of course, when they make these investments, they're going to be spot on and they're going to make money out of these investments. And it's okay. It's okay right now. It's some of them. I think it was like they're trying to vote on closing that down because it's like something they've been doing through like a loophole in the rules and stuff. Yeah, insider trading. And they're trying to shut it down, but right now it's just happening. It's happening. And they're all rich beyond measure, you know, and they're all it's so crazy. It's so crazy. It's like, you know. And then the ones that are not dirty, like the ones that are clean, they don't want to get involved in this shady bull crap, you know. They're the ones that end up on the news or get fired or removed from their positions.
Then y'all giving the money to these immigrants who ain't put a damn thing into this country. They don't even have real businesses.
Yeah, that's the point where I think everybody's kind of pissed, sir. We know they don't have a goddamn real business ever. Oh, here it is. Must watch. Let's listen to where this one daycare center's phone number goes to.
They're going daycare to daycare.
Let me just tell you, I'm pretty sure this is legit just because of the video itself. All right, but get ready for this because it's kind of scandalous. All right, it's kind of insane. Listen up.
So guys, this is absolutely mind-blowing. So I was watching the most recent video by Nick Shirley exposing these daycare centers. Now, they're going daycare to daycare, and the next one that they go to is called Sweet Angel Childcare. This is where they show up to. And this is the business right here. Sweet Angel Childcare in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, listen to where this phone number goes to when you call this childcare center.
This is insane, guys.
Just wait for it.
Thank you for contacting the Office of Governor Tim Walz and Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan. Our office is located at 130 State Capitol at 75 Reverend.
Oh my God. I'll do it again. Sweet Angel Childcare. It goes to Governor Tim Walz's office. Why is a child care center directly going to the office of the governor.
Indeed.
Make it make sense.
Make it make fucking sense right now.
No.
Thank you for contacting the office of Governor Tim Walz and Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan.
If this is not a direct link to Tim Walz and these fraudulent child care centers, I don't know what else is. Bro, this is crazy.
He literally discovered that. Like, I really believe this one. His reaction is golden. But yeah, why? Why would that link to his office? That's insane. $200. Not surprised. Yeah. Very crazy. I just am thankful for social media, even though I hate a lot of it, but I'm thankful for it for this kind of thing. It was shared 37,000 times already, and it's seen by 2.1 million people. And so if this governor doesn't answer up soon, well, people are getting pretty pissed about it, right? Yeah. People are getting pretty mad about it. They've got a ton of these. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it says Nick Shirley, the citizen journalist whose bombshell video just hit nearly 100 million views. He's firing warning shots. There better be serious accountability coming or people are going to explode with anger. That's a quote from his video. He's even putting President Trump on notice. If you're seeing this right now, Mr. President, it's time to dive in deep and turn Minnesota around right now. Parts of it feel like straight up Somaliland. Real change better happen fast. Americans are fed up and demanding it. That one video alone has already kicked off multiple federal investigations. He's dead right. Taxpayers grind every day. We deserve every penny accounted for. No more excuses. Drain this swamp now. And somebody posts, nobody will go to jail for Epstein stuff. Nobody will go to jail for Somali daycares. But if you're a middle-class family who parks on a double yellow or pays a tax bill 0.1 days late, the entire legal system will activate to crush you. Just like in my last, last month, I did a video about that YouTuber who had missed paying sales tax on a vehicle and they came and arrested him. They arrested him. They didn't send him a bill. They didn't tell him in any way that he owed any of these taxes. They just came to his house and took him in cuffs and arrested his ass. They were like, yeah, you're under arrest. You didn't pay this sales tax of 20 grand. You're coming with us. And they locked his ass up. He's like, well, did you guys let me know I owed that? And they're like, nah, we don't have to do that shit. You're just supposed to know. And, then we see these Epstein files drop. We've seen no arrests for that. Now this whole Somalian thing, and we've yet to see an arrest for that. The very first thing I showed you guys was that representative went from, $45,000 a year to over, how many millions of dollars. No arrests, nothing. We're just gonna keep on ignoring it, I guess. We'll just be blatant about it. I honestly just don't think they're going to really do anything about any of this until something happens, like a giant protest of people just, it's just ridiculous. Let's see. Yeah, this is about the Candace Owens stuff, and the Epstein stuff. We're going to switch right over to that. I just wanted to show you this guy complaining about the, okay, here's Nancy Pelosi says, this may have been the early signs of problems in Minnesota. According to her most recent filing, Ilhan Omar's net worth is estimated to be around 30 million. That's a 66,000% increase since 2019. The increase appears to be from her husband, who started a venture capital firm in 2022, which recently scrubbed all official data from its website. That's not suspicious, but that's just the start. Okay. According to the NYP, another 5 million of that comes from a California winery, which not only had allegations of fraud, but was declared a failure in 2023. However, in 2024, the winery suddenly shot up to $5 million in value, yet they have allegedly not sold a bottle, posted anything on social media since 2023, and their phone number is no longer in service. This is ridiculous. Another very weird coincidence, in 2018, Omar held her 2018 victory party at Safari Restaurant. Then in 2020, Omar Meals Act in Congress, which relaxed oversight of government-sponsored children's meals programs during the pandemic. And I really hope that she didn't mess with any children by taking funding from children's things. And, but I mean, I guess if she's really guilty of doing anything, it takes money out of everybody, it takes food out of everyone's mouths, including children. Then the DOJ found the owner of that restaurant, Salim Ahmed, said guilty of stealing more than 12 million for serving 3.9 million phantom meals during the pandemic. Okay. I see. So she relaxed the government-sponsored children's meals program, and then this guy allegedly took advantage of that. No, sorry, not allegedly. He was found guilty of stealing more than 12 million for serving 3.9 million fake meals during the pandemic. All right. Said, who worked on Omar's campaign in 2018 to 2020, also pled guilty to running a fake food site called Advanced Youth Athletic Development, where he falsely claimed to serve 5,000 meals a day and pocketed 3.2 million out of the food program. So it's kind of like it's suspicious. Like she's up to no good. A 66,000% increase in your income? Get out of here. She was like, look, it's a way to rip off the government. Oh, look at that. All right. And that's more about it. Okay. So here is the story that blew me away last evening when I found it. It completely blew my mind. And I'm just shocked that this is going on. Lockpicking Blacksmith. What's up, Sean? How the hell am I number one commenter when I just got here? Because you probably commented one thing. I don't know why it's counting that. I forgot to turn it off. But yeah, the chat's pretty dead. So light it up in the chat a little bit. Hit that like button. And if you're just passing through, please subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. We're going to hit 1 million subscribers by the weekend, obviously. And you definitely want to be a part of that. So subscribe to the channel. Also, I mean, come on, it's like the best channel ever. Like for real. So yeah, hello, Sean. Back to this post by Julie Brown. Julie Brown says, does somebody at the Department of Justice want to tell me why my American Airlines booking information and flights in July of 2019 are part of the Epstein files attached to a grand jury subpoena, as the flight itinerary includes my maiden name and I did book this flight? Why was the DOJ monitoring me? And here's the receipt she shows. Like her flight information is just like in the Epstein files, her information in the Epstein files. And people were just like, wow. Somebody said it seems obvious. She's the journalist whose investigation led to the arrest of Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. So basically, she was investigating Epstein and Maxwell, and what does she get for it? She gets put in the Epstein files because the government's following her around. And I mean, I guess it's obvious, right? Like, obviously, the government, they probably have every person that talks shit on them on YouTube, Instagram, X. We saw paperwork. Didn't we see paperwork from, was it Donald Trump who wrote up like all these things that the new FBI and the new government agencies are supposed to be on the lookout for? And it's basically anybody who talks about certain things, and they're, the government's supposed to keep an eye on them now instead of like going after people that are talking about threats to the country and things like that. They're going after the citizens who are saying things that they don't agree with. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious, right, why she would be in the Epstein files. Because, come on, if we don't think the government is listening to and watching every single thing that we're doing, we're insane. I think this just brings it to light. It just brings it into it, like shoves it in our faces. It's like, you can't deny it now because we know the government is watching certain people. They had their eye on an independent journalist who was trying to bring down Epstein. They literally were keeping track of her, protecting this Pedialyte. It's disgusting. It's disgusting to me. Totally disgusting. You were actively covering the Epstein at the most volatile moment of the case, traveling and meeting sources. It's just, yeah, your name would appear, but it's just very, very suspicious to me that, of course, they're monitoring people. They shouldn't be, like, who cares about her? She was just trying to break the case, not really doing anything illegal. And yet they're still monitoring things like that. But I guess they may have a good reason, but it's just it's disappointing to say the least. So let's see. There's some more stuff. Here we go. The daycare center. My daycare centers are being defunded. All right. Now, like I said, I don't know if this guy's actually
by a random guy calling
as though he might be. All right. This is what he's coming from. He's an owner of a daycare center, and he's complaining about the funding. So let's hear what he has to say.
I own 65 daycare centers in Minnesota, and we are now having all of our funding taken away because of some misinformation posted on X by a random guy calling himself a journalist, saying that this is fraud.
Here's the thing, though. Why would they take away your funding if you weren't doing fraudulent activities? They just don't go, oh, you know what? Let's just remove the funding from all these centers. They are investigating, and they're going to figure out which ones are fraudulent. And if they find it fraudulent, then they're going to pull funding. I don't see anything wrong with that. I really don't. So how is it that he's suddenly just getting his funding pulled for just like no reason? Like, just, they're pulling the funding, period. It's done. Over. He did nothing wrong.
That $19 billion is too much to run thousands of daycare centers for people in Minnesota. And yes, the Somali community has a lot of kids, so they need a lot of daycare centers. Do you know how much crayons cost, Elon? Do you know how much tables, chairs, security, heating, food, educational books and documents cost? They cost a lot of money. I'm spending $50 million a month on my daycare centers. And yes, they are empty because we are waiting for the children to come.
Did you just hear this shit? Did he just say what I think he said? He said it just costs so much. He's spending $50 million a month on these centers a month. And yes, they're empty because they're just waiting for like kids to show up. How are you spending $50 million a month if there isn't even any fucking kids there? What? Like, bro, you sound insane. You sound crazy. You sound like you've lost your mind. I think you need evaluated immediately for a conservatorship. Somebody get this guy here a meeting with a he needs a lawyer. He needs a beneficiary or somebody to come forward and go take care of him, because he's absolutely looks like, it seems to me, that he lost his ever-loving mind. Let's listen on.
And yes, some of them are in sheds and shacks because we don't have enough money to fund all of the daycare centers. We need more cash, not less. And Tim Walz has done everything he can to make sure we get that cash. And now you want to take it away because of some misinformation you made up, because you don't like the fact that those of us in Minnesota and the Somali community need more daycare centers because the kids need somewhere to learn.
Is he losing his mind? Daycare centers aren't for kids to learn. Schools are for kids to learn. There shouldn't be people living in sheds, okay? They shouldn't come here if they're going to be living in sheds. And the daycare centers should have children in them, period, point blank, end of story. There's not a single reason on earth there shouldn't be children in the daycare center. And you shouldn't be getting funding to pay for children to be in the daycare center, receiving care, receiving meals, receiving, crayons to color with. You shouldn't be receiving any funding for any children that aren't there. That's the point. You don't just get funded and no children are there. What the? I really hope this isn't the guy who owns 65 daycare centers in Minnesota. And I really hope this isn't true, because if somebody is this ridiculous out here talking like this, like, what is he saying? Anybody in chat, can you break this down for me? Because I think I must have missed the point. What am I missing here? The kids are in sheds. You need more funding for your daycare centers, because $19 billion is literally nearly not enough for these children to go to daycare. And what? Yeah, I think he said he's running 65 daycare centers. He's definitely nuts if that's the truth. If this is the guy. Well, I mean, I don't know. I say that, but I don't know if he's nuts. He seems nuts with what he's saying. Let's listen to why these kids need to be at the daycare centers. They need to learn.
Somewhere to grow, somewhere to be while the parents are at work.
Oh, the parents are working? They're working? Are the parents working? It could be a joke. It has to be a joke.
It's not okay. You can't just shut us down.
Maybe not.
I take a salary because I need to get to work. I need 2 cars, one for work and one to get things to work, because I'm the one running 65 daycare centers on my own.
Yeah, he must be joking.
What am I supposed to do? I need clothes. I need a roof over my head. I need a spare apartment near the daycare center so I can go home and, brush up on what I need to teach. These are necessities, expensive necessities, so people can have daycare. And now it's gone. I hope you're happy.
Dude, that has to be a joke. That has to be fake. That has to be fake. Damien Slash. Yeah, it's got to be fake. He's got to be fake. Or if it's not fake, he is nuts. He's like, so they can come here and learn. All right. And here's somebody saying, like, breaking: Trump's DOJ appears to have been spying on a journalist who exposed the 2008 Epstein sweetheart deal. Julie K. Brown, an investigative reporter at the Miami Herald, is accusing the Trump DOJ of monitoring her in 2019 after she exposed the deal that Trump's labor secretary Alex Acosta reached with Epstein. The cover-up is real. And then I found this interesting as well, guys. Pretty crazy. Now that we're all aware that medical fraud is a multi-billion-dollar industry in Minnesota, can we get some answers about Representative, or maybe it's Republican, Melissa Hortman's murder. Melissa Hortman is, it must be representative. Melissa Hortman is the only Democrat to vote against healthcare for illegals. She killed the bill. Hortman and her husband were murdered soon after this vote. Her killer was appointed by Tim Walz. The killer's wife worked for Tim Walz. The killer said Tim Walz ordered the murder in his confession letter. The killer named Tim Walz multiple times in his arraignment. Her killer had no King's flyer in his car. The guy clearly had a screw loose, but has anyone asked Tim Walz a question about this connection on the record? Has there been an investigation? Dark things are happening in Minnesota, man.
And we worked very hard to try to get a budget deal that wouldn't include that provision.
DFL Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman emotional following the House's adjournment from a special session Monday. Hortman was the lone DFL lawmaker to cast a vote to cut Minnesota Care access for undocumented immigrants. It's a move she made with a heavy heart.
I did what leaders do. I stepped up and I got the job done for the people of Minnesota.
The bill was deeply unpopular with members of the DFL caucus. Members have repeatedly expressed frustration that the bill was part of a compromise, one that would ensure the necessary GOP votes to pass the rest of the state budget.
We are tremendously disappointed and gut wrench at this decision, at this compromise that compromises our communities that are most vulnerable.
Oh, Lord.
Hortman knows she let down her own
Lord.
caucus members with the vote.
They're right to be mad at me. I think some of them are pretty angry. I think that their job was to make.
Were people just laying on the floor screaming, or am I losing my mind?
Folks who voted for that bill feel like crap, and I think that they succeeded.
Over in the Senate, a similar situation unfolded. Senate Majority Leader Erin Murphy forced to vote for a bill she too disagreed with to uphold the integrity of their compromise.
This one hurt. This one is a wound because of its reason. My colleagues across the aisle set this as their number one priority.
Asked whether the move would drive a wedge between her and the rest of her caucus, her DFL colleague, Senator John Marty, quickly stepped to her defense.
As a member of the caucus, yes, sir, she clearly was fighting against it every step of the way. In negotiations, if we wanted a budget, we had to agree to that. She agreed to put one vote for us because of that.
Reporting in St. Paul, I'm Quinn Gorham.
I tell you, I would not be popular in politics at all. I just wouldn't be, because you know what? They're like asking her, or these other people in your, what do they call it? The caucus. I don't even know what that means, but they're like, are they going to be mad at you? And she's like, some people are just going to be super silly. Some people are just be so upset. I feel like they just need to have more people involved in when they vote on anything anymore, because it's one person to vote on things that are so important to our country, right? From every state, they get a vote. They come in, they vote. But it's at the end of the day, it's just one person, and we have to trust in that one person to uphold the majority of our decisions, what we want, right? If we say we want these daycare centers and the majority of us want them, then that person should go in there without consulting her other parties or other anything, because her people want this, and that's how they should vote, period. But it feels like these votes are being influenced by, if somebody has something over their head. Look, I know your people want this, but if you don't vote this way, we're not going to do this for you, or we're going to tell the world about this, or we're going to leak this photo, or we're going to do this or do that. And it just comes down to the fact that one person alone can be corrupted. It's just way too easy to have one person be corrupted. They ought to add 5 people, 5 senators for every state. And, they should be people that don't know each other. They shouldn't be able to be paid a giant wage if they are allowed to insider trade, or if they are if they turn that off, then maybe pay them a little extra, but nothing like what they're making now. These people are making way too much money. We're counting on each one of these people to be decent human beings. And after they're in there for a while, they end up corrupt because they make all these deals with all these people. And so moving forward, they can vote. They're still voting and they're staying in office, and they got all these people that they know at this point, and all these deals that they have to make, and all these favors they have to return. And it's a mess. It's a whole mess. It like needs reconfigured, and there needs to be more than just one person, because one person can be corrupted super easily, you know? It's just they got it. They're messing up big time. They all got an agenda, and so things are just not getting done. So, I would like to know a little bit more about this story about Melissa Hortman, because it's pretty suspicious. I didn't realize that, the killer said Tim Walz ordered the murder in his confession letter. Like, is this legit? This is crazy. We need to look into this or something a little bit more, because that seems a bit wild to me. That really happened? Let's see. Let's see. Vance Bolger indicted for the murders of Melissa and Mark Hortman, the shootings of John and Yvette Hoffman, and the attempted shooting of Hope Hoffman. He's been indicted on 6 federal charges in connection with the stalking and murders of House representatives, and the stalking and shooting of Minnesota State Senator Hoffman and his wife, an attempted shooting of their daughter. He planned and carried out a night of terror that shook Minnesota to its core. He carried out targeted political assassinations, the likes of which have never been seen in Minnesota. A grand jury indicted him with the most serious federal charges for these heinous. According to court documents, after extensive research and planning, he embarked on a rampage targeting the elected officials and their families. He disguised himself a member in law enforcement and traveled to the homes, intent to intimidate and murder them. By posing as a police officer, he compelled them to answer the door, then he shot them. He then traveled to the homes of 2 other Minnesota elected officials, only to find that no one at these locations was home. He drove to the home of Speaker Emerita and Representative Melissa Hortman. There, he repeatedly shot and killed those people and her husband. Following a 2-day manhunt, they arrested him near his family residence in Minnesota. It just doesn't really say. Her husband, both members of the community. Yeah, I think we need to ask somebody besides this government, United States Attorney's Office, because that obviously they would lie to us there, right? They're not going to say certain things there. I just find it weird. Governor Tim Walz announced the news. Yikes. I don't see where they said that. I'm going to do a little bit more digging into that because I find it strange. I'm going to check a little bit further into that one. Did you guys hear about that or know anything about that at all? Because I have not heard anything about that. That Tim Walz's name was involved in that. It's pretty wild. Despite the fraud, Tim Walz announced a new welfare program for Somalis and other illegals. Oh, the taxpayer-funded family and medical leave program gives Somalis up to 20 paid weeks off per year to bond with a child. Oh, okay. Is that for real? Hmm. Must be nice, huh? Here in Minnesota, Judge Sarah West, who threw out a $7 million Somali fraud conviction with a jury who was unanimous. Wow. Jury was unanimous. And this was kind of fresh off the presses. Yeah, now we know why all the daycares are empty. Yeah, they got their 20 weeks off. They're home bonding with the children. Obvi. It's so crazy to me. Um, just in case you missed it, Iran hacked Netanyahu's phone and they are leaking everything. Hmm? Hmm? I must have missed that one. Mm, there's a lot going on there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot going on with that. Okay. Remember the story we talked about yesterday with Dwayne Farnsworth and Terrell Farnsworth, the people who, Terrell Farnsworth being the person who took the SD card out of the camera that was behind Charlie Kirk the day he was assassinated. Well, here's a little bit more information that I found about that. Confirmed that Dwayne and Terrell Farnsworth are related. So it's been confirmed. Both are on the same filing for Terrell's media company, Visual Impulse LLC. This connection is highly important to Wolves and Finance's video, proving fraud at TPUSA through 110 LLC. And so this is documentation that he found with both of their names on it. So that connection has been confirmed, guys. That is a confirmed connection between Terrell and Dwayne Farnsworth. And, that's the people who are part of, what's his name? The kid who supposedly shot Charlie Kirk, right? And I brought this one up because I thought it was funny. Okay. They are bitching and moaning about Candace Owens and, her what would we call him? Her witness, whatever, her source, right? Remember the source she had over before the holiday started. She had Mitch Snow on her show, on her podcast. And Mitch claims that he was at Fort Huachuca on September 8th and 9th, the days leading up to Charlie Kirk's assassination. While he was at Fort Huachuca, he said he kind of saw this like secret meeting happening with all these higher up military personnel. That has been confirmed that he was there. It's confirmed. People are trying to basically break Mitch's story by assaulting his character leading up to, but prior to, like in his past, right? They're trying to basically take him down by saying he was a shitty person and a scammer and a grifter and all these things in his past. And things have been coming out that maybe he was abusive with his wife or something, his girlfriends or something like this. However, after they broke that story, a couple of people went digging and found that the females that accused him of being abusive had accused several other people of being abusive, several other boyfriends, like they were serials at basically abuse, saying that their boyfriends abused them. There was a couple of different police reports and things like that, I guess, or court reports or something to that effect. So there was some proof that came up that perhaps maybe the girls that were talking about Mitch, maybe we shouldn't fully believe them 100% because maybe they were lying, right? Maybe they were telling a couple fibs. But literally, Mitch Snow is now breaking the internet because they all just want to dig into his past and dredge up all this shit. So they said he wasn't in the military. Then they found out he wasn't. Then they said he wasn't a Green Beret. Then they found out he was a Green Beret. Then they're trying to just do everything they can to say he was a shitty person and whatever. But the point of the whole, the whole point of it is he was at this military base. There was a meeting that was held there, and he happened to see 4 different people he claims he saw there. He says he saw Erika Kirk. He says he saw, who was her ex-boyfriend, that weird named guy. I have it in here. Let me see. Cabot Phillips, I think his name was. He claims he saw the head of Charlie Kirk's security there, and he claims that he saw a senator, I believe. So he saw 4 people, right? And he claims he saw these people. Now, Candace has been saying all along, she cannot confirm what somebody else sees with their own eyes, right? We can't. There's just no way to do that. And if you think that there is a way that you can confirm what someone else saw without having a video of it, then you are insane. You're nuts, okay? No, Candace never said that she confirmed who he says he saw. In fact, she said, hey, listen, he probably might not have maybe seen what he said he saw. Let's get some receipts out here and show where you people were, just to make sure that we can either, say you were there or say you weren't there. So please, send me some receipts. If anybody has any information, I'm happy to hear it to, discredit what he says he saw. Let's break it down. Let's get to the truth. And nobody's giving a solid alibi for the time in question. We've got Erika Kirk, who sent Tyler Boyer a picture of her hand over a couple of random kids' pictures that, the son definitely wasn't hers and all this other stuff. And to me, her manicure looked all grown out. It might have been a shadow, but to me, it looked like her manicure was even grown out. And I don't even know that it was her finger on the screen of that phone. But she sends this over saying, here's where I was, and turns out that it was for the day after they said they saw her. So she's giving an alibi for the wrong day. And even so, she said she was, with Charlie all day. They woke up together and they spent the entire day together. But then people have come out and they found an interview that she did. And she says she wasn't with him that day because she was going to meet him for dinner later that day. And so, you don't meet someone for dinner if you're already with them. You just go to dinner with them. You don't meet up with them, right? You don't meet somebody for dinner. So basically, she ruined her own alibi with her lies. Of course, all these lies that she has, it just compounds. The senator, or I think it was a senator in question, he said that he was on the floor, House of Representatives, doing a vote. They can't place him there until a certain time. So they're saying maybe he actually had time to be at this secret meeting. And as far as Cabot Phillips, he hasn't confirmed anything. He hasn't come forward at all, and he's not saying a word. And so all these alibis are not being really given for the time in question. So the internet's getting freaked out, and they're trying to dig into Mitch's past, trying to dig up all this dirt, trying to get, discredit him in some way, which, I mean, whatever, discredit all day. But if the guy said he was at the meeting and it shows he was at the meeting, there's video proof of him being at the meeting. There's metadata proof that he was at the meeting. There's all kind of different, somebody actually leaked the military report of him being at this fort, this Fort Huachuca. Okay, so if he was there and he saw what he's, whatever. So he was there, but they're still trying hard as they might to break his story, and they're trying to discredit him. And so somebody posted this. They said, great. So now that Mitch's son has confirmed he was contacted by the MPs on Fort Huachuca on September 9th over Mitch's detainment, can we get some confirmation on the others, or are y'all just going to move the goalpost on Mitch again? And Candace replies to that and says, well, they haven't interviewed his high school classmates yet. Once you hear what they have to say about what happened in PE class in the 70s, you'll finally understand why you can't ask questions about Fort Huachuca. And yeah, I about died. That was freaking hilarious. Candace cracks me up. She had me cracking up with that one. All right. Because she's basically, making fun of them. Yeah. It's just more garbage, guys. And Nick Fuentes is saying, trying to bust Candace's thing about how she met her husband. And Candace just, oh my God, Candace just annihilates anybody that tries her, man. I don't know why people continue to try her. Like, why? It's wild to me. It's wild to me. I don't know why they continue to try. She just annihilates anybody. She says, "Are you okay, Nick?" Yeah, she definitely gets in on that. She's definitely hates that guy. But let's see if there's any more of this. Oh yeah, here's another one. So regarding Erika Kirk, who you guys know, I have a healthy disdain for Erika Kirk. But regarding Erika Kirk, somebody kind of caught this little admission that she made in one of the 13,492 interviews that she went on. And they said, did Erika Kirk in her Sunday Fox News special admit that she, a self-proclaimed Catholic, has been willfully keeping her children away from church for 3 months in violation of the third commandment? Couldn't the grandparents take the children to mass if needed? The Catholic Church teaches attending mass on Sundays as a fulfillment of the third commandment to remember to keep holy the Sabbath day. The practice of gathering for mass is modeled after Jesus, who regularly attended the synagogue on the Sabbath, and his parents, Mary and Joseph, who fulfilled all the prescriptions of the law by attending worship. And he quotes some scripture here, Matthew 19:14, and he says, let the children come to me and do not hinder them, for such belongs to the kingdom of heaven. And so he proves his point a little bit, but here's Erika Kirk.
But when it comes to
take her kids
Sunday
to
or
church anymore, I
Saturday,
guess. Like,
I intentionally have not, since 9/10, I have intentionally not brought my children to a full service. I did bring them to a daytime service at one point, but when it comes to Sunday or Saturday worship, when I would go to a physical church, I chose not to bring my children.
Yeah. They just kind of reiterate what I read out before this. So yeah, that she's not taking her children to church, I suppose. Oh, with new scenes. All right, we got breaking new video montage shows just how much Erika Kirk drank, dated, and lied about it with new scenes. You guys know I love these. Let's take a look.
Stop.
Oh, is that music? We're going to keep that muted, but we're going to watch it. All right. She's a liar, it says. Here she is drinking. And partying. Oh, dating. Never dated. I like never dated before Charlie. Oh Lord. Oh yeah. We all heard about that. The new let's see. The new senior what? The new senior editor unites conservative students in honor of Charlie Kirk. Guess who's a new speaker for Turning Point? We knew that. We knew that. We broke that one already. We knew that one. But yeah, she's kind of a bit weird. And then here's a comedian giving the news, which I love.
Pageant. Her parents
Also enjoy. All right. I thought you guys would also really like this. Let's have a listen.
Erika Kirk knew Trump before she knew Charlie. She actually won Trump's Miss Arizona pageant. Her parents are both from military intelligence family. Her dad did Raytheon arms deals with Israel, probably unrelated. And Erika Kirk was part of running an orphanage in Romania where children went missing. Enough children for Romania to permanently ban the orphanage and permanently ban Erika Kirk. Do you know how f***ed up you gotta be to get banned in Romania? Andrew Tate is the mayor there. You really gotta push some boundaries. Mind you, this is when Epstein was still active. So I'll let you connect the dots.
My.
By the way, I'm not suicidal. For the record, I am quite happy, okay? You heard it here. But the weirdest thing about Erika Kirk, she met Charlie Kirk, not on Christian Mingle. She went in to interview at his company, Turning Point USA. He said that he fell in love right away. Now, 4 years later, he's dead. And she has now inherited Turning Point USA. She's doing podcasts on it too. Like, I'm so excited. Like, to my future wife, please wait 2 months after I die before doing a podcast. 3 months if it's my own. Come on. When you look at how fast she moved on, and then you look at how it started and how it ended, how it started was not romance. How it started was her going in for a job, and how it ended was her getting a promotion. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It was probably Tyler.
Probably Tyler. I like that at the end. It was probably Tyler. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Let's see. Where are we at? 88.2% now with the tax question. We're at 88.2%. Only 1.8% of the people who actually came across this post thinks that we should keep paying taxes. It keeps growing. That list keeps growing and growing. All right, what are we looking at? Oh yeah, the Farnsworth Mormon Mafia infiltrating TPUSA cover-ups and EMP doomsday schemes. Gets this. The Farnsworth clan isn't just some wholesome Mormon family baking cookies in Arizona. They're a tangled web of political insiders, TPUSA operatives, and national security. Let's connect the dots on this shady dynasty, okay? The SD card cover-up crew at TPUSA. Terrell Farnsworth, the infamous SD card dude, was caught on video yanking critical cameras in memory cards from the Charlie Kirk assassination scene like he was hiding the family silver. That's him in the pic, casually standing in the background, taking video of his good friend who was just murdered in cold blood. WTF. But wait, he's not alone. His kin, Brian Farnsworth, co-hosted TPUSA's Breakaway Show, dishing on crime waves and TikTok scandals while cashing those conservative checks. And Tyler Farnsworth, another TPUSA insider, rubbing elbows in all three Farnsworth boys slinging propaganda for Turning Point USA. Coincidence? The political puppet masters under Senator David Farnsworth, Arizona, Terrell's cousin, once removed, pushing bills on everything from wildfires to EMP Armageddon prep. Yeah, he's co-author of that Blackout Wars report from the Task Force on National and Homeland Security, a blueprint for doomsday bunkers against electromagnetic pulses that could fry the grid. But here's the kicker. He's buddy-buddy with Lori Francevy, CEO of GTEC Industries and mother-in-law to the late Charlie Kirk. They teamed up to lobby for EMP defense in Arizona hearings with Francevy's hubby, Larry Quinata, right there too. It's is this preparedness or a grift to funnel taxpayer bucks to connected contractors while TPUSA's cameras mysteriously vanish? The Mormon legacy of dodging accountability. Don't forget former Representative Eddie Farnsworth, David's brother. The whole fam's from that prominent LDS powerhouse in Gilbert, Arizona. Fast Eddie blocked child, survivor bills for years. He blocked the bills for years, shielding clergy from reporting confessions, all while his nephew got busted for R word, and the family name stayed squeaky clean in Mormon circles. Sold his charter school empire for $56 million, netting millions personally, and kept consulting on the side, protecting the flock. Lots of questions here. And there's some pictures to check out. There's the blackout wars with the names on it. There's the picture of him doing his selfie video. Remember that? He's like, "Hey y'all, oh my god, Charlie Kirk's dead. He's dead. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like, oh my god. He's dead. Oh my god." Yeah, that's him. And that was like seconds after he was shot, and nobody knew he was dead at that point. No one knew he was dead. He wasn't even dead when this dude made his video. Like, if you want to be realistic, Charlie Kirk wasn't even dead yet when this video was made, right? He just popped up the cam and did a video. Well, look, everyone else is running for their lives, by the way. Everyone else is booking it because shots were fired. They're terrified of what's going on. Nobody knows where these are coming from, if there's going to be more shootings, etc. And he's just chilling on the side there, taking a selfie video. That's not suspicious one bit. Here's a article from lawyer.com showing Dwayne Farnsworth. Again, this next picture of, him taking his selfie video. So yeah, just a few little pictures there to kind of let's see. I'm excited for this as well. I want
database
as well
to access all the YouTube videos. Guys, I'm building a Charlie Kirk assassination investigation master database to access all the YouTube videos about the topic at the click of a button. And it's going to be crazy. It's prepping right here. I'll show you in just a second. But a lot of you guys have been tripping out like where I'm at this weekend. Don't worry. I'm like deep down the fucking rabbit hole. I'm fine. I'm going to come back and comment on this all the madness probably tomorrow. This week, we're here. But dude, I'm just so nerding out on this. I've been busy, and I'm about to show you how busy I've been.
That is going to be pretty interesting. And if nothing else solves this, it's things like this that are going to solve this. It's this kind of stuff. I've said already, it's very, I don't know. It's very easy nowadays to get a bunch of people to come together and figure this kind of stuff out. It's hard when you're just one person doing all the legwork and all the digging and, trying to get information and facts and things like that. But when you are 5 million people strong or 10 million people strong, that just amplifies the potential outcome for success. And when you've got an entire video or an entire website, with all these videos and all this information right at your fingertips, that's going to be wild. That's going to be wild.
I'm supposed to make some content about buyer, but I've been busy making web stuff, and you're going to see why. We'll make buyer stuff this week. Don't worry. See, it's on the App Store. You can go get it right now if you want. But what I'm trying to talk about is this shit. So a lot of you guys might have seen me working with Web. This is an AI tool that we were building to help analyze the Epstein files that everyone's going to get access to, so you can analyze the Epstein files too.
Love that as well. I love that as well, because as you guys know, the government was supposed to the government was supposed to build a accessible database for all of the Epstein files. It was supposed to be done by December 19th, fully complete, all the information at our fingertips for us to search. Their database sucks, to say the least, and tons of netizens are trying to rebuild it in a way that it's much easier to search. You know, you can find pictures a lot easier, because right now you can't really locate certain pictures because they're in other files. You know, all the pictures are there, but they have them spread throughout different files, so you can't put them all together. But somebody already did that. They grabbed all the pictures and put them in a much better searchable website. So yeah, this is going to be something else if he's doing that as well. I mean, there's a lot of things he's got going on, but if this works out, this is going to be amazing for finding information.
And I was going to sleep the other night and I realized I can use this motherfucker to analyze YouTube videos real fast. So I went and I downloaded every Candace Owens video that she's made since Charlie was assassinated, converted the transcripts to PDFs, uploaded the PDFs, and it's now analyzing all of them, and I can ask it questions. Like, what has Candace said about Ben Shapiro? It comes up with all these responses, cites its sources. Ben's past rhetoric. Candace mockingly references Ben's own aggressive language, noting that he once tweeted that Ron Paul was gripping the pen as he would the neck of a Jew. And there's a source, and we can click on that source.
Wow.
And we can pull it up in the transcript with highlights. That exact quote is right here. As in previous debates, he is now gripping the pen as he would the neck of a Jew. But I want you to focus on this one right here. This is a real-life tweet from Ben Shapiro accusing any American Jew. Remember those words. This is a real-life tweet from Ben Shapiro accusing any American Jew. Check this out. You see, I realized as I was falling asleep that I can produce a YouTube link that will link to a specific time code start.
Oh my God.
Video. Wait a minute. Do you remember this quote? This is a real-life tweet from Ben Shapiro accusing any American Jew. Well, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a link. Click.
Those are actually his words. This is a real-life tweet from Ben Shapiro. Accusing
Wow.
a Jew who's pro-Israel of being Israel first is a pure form of anti-Semitism.
Do you see what just happened? We search for what Candace has said about Ben Shapiro. It tells us what she said about Ben Shapiro. It cites the source. We go to the transcript. It's right there. It highlights where she said that and when. There's a link right there. You click the link. Bam. The video immediately opens at that timestamp and shows you the video where she said that he said that.
Wow.
And if you're starting to imagine all the ways that this can be used when you include way more than just Candace's content into this database, your boy is way ahead of you. When did Candace say go max for the first time? According to the transcript, on July 18th, Charlie Kirk hosts Tucker Carlson at SAS. This brings in the Tucker element, right? Tucker, he tells Tucker to go max, call out YouTube videos about you. Guys, I'm building a...
This is pretty wild, guys. That's pretty wild. Did I even show it, or did I have it off screen that he was making that? Did you guys see this video, or did I have it off screen on accident? But yeah, he's making this whole thing accessible. Let's see. The Epstein files are 75.7 gigabytes of compressed zip files. Yeah, I guess his AI thing is going to take it to the next level. Basically, let me put it to the parts where I wanted to show you.
Tweet from Ben Shapiro accusing any American Jew. Remember those words. This is a real-life tweet from Ben Shapiro accusing any American Jew. Check this out. You see, I realized as I was falling asleep that I can produce a YouTube link that will link to a specific time code start in any YouTube video. Wait a minute. Do you remember this quote? This is a real-life tweet from Ben Shapiro accusing any American Jew.
They're not compressed.
Well, this right here, ladies
government
and gentlemen,
site
is a link. Click.
Those are actually his words. This is a real-life tweet from Ben Shapiro accusing any American Jew who is pro-Israel of being Israel first is a pure form of anti-Semitism.
Do you see what just happened? We search for what Candace has said about Ben Shapiro. It tells us what she said about Ben Shapiro. It cites the source. We go to the
know when
transcript.
it's coming
right
out.
There. It highlights Where was this said? And it will pull you those moments out of the transcripts with clickable links that will immediately open those videos at those timestamps for your clipping enjoyment, for your viewing pleasure, for your own research. You know?
I really
And
like
Lordy
that.
Lord, we're starting with the coding rabbit hole and it's going great. But we had a great Christmas. We did a lot of shit. And we'll be back to live streaming tomorrow for the rest of the week. And we will be going max.
I want to know when that is going to be available for everybody. That is going to be epic, especially when you're researching for videos, things like that. That's going to be pretty epic. I'm pretty excited about that. Oh, let's see. I think that was all I pretty much wanted to show you guys about the entire thing with there's just so much. There's so much that's happening literally just every second of every day. What was this? Oh, Project Constitution posted this big thing. Basically, it basically goes and takes every single thing that Alex Jones has said in regards to Candace Owens, and it's got things that just completely disprove everything that he says. So I don't understand. I think I don't know. I really can't say what I think about that, but let me go through. There's one that I can show you and you'll get to know exactly what I think. I think it's at the end of my bookmarks. It was quite far down there, but it was just showing that was Erika Kirk. Excited about that. All right. Well, this one's a fun one. They are actually making spy cockroaches. If you don't think that spy drones are a thing, they are making spy cockroaches right here. If you
He is thinking outside the box, way outside the box. It's funding tests to see if these giant Madagascar hissing cockroaches can be repurposed from repulsive pests to miniature battlefield assets.
This is a left turn, and this is a right turn.
Stefan Wilhelm's year-old startup, Swarm Biotactics in central Germany, is working with the Bundeswehr to develop technology that can steer the creepy critters autonomously and send them on reconnaissance missions. He let me take control.
Wow. They're super resilient, and as you can see, I mean, they can crawl through tiny spaces, can go up the wall, into pipes, like underground in rubble.
You know, this is really bizarre.
Is it?
Yeah, he's like, is it?
Swarm's insect neuroscientists attach electrodes to the roach's antenna. They insist this doesn't hurt, stimulating their natural ability to navigate. The electrodes are hidden in these bug-sized backpacks, along with a battery and microchips. They're working to shrink the technology to soon look like this. Swarm's AI-generated video shows how they might be deployed, carrying cameras, microphones, and Doppler radar into war zones.
Okay.
Right now, we're hearing that Russia is rearming itself. They've got more tanks, more armaments. How does this compete?
We have to be smarter. We have to use intelligence. We have to use autonomy, because we wouldn't have enough personnel or enough equipment if you look at what Russia produces right now. So I think this is a shift we see in the German startup.
What? That's pretty wild. Am I right? That would be pretty interesting. Where is it? I have saved this one to show you guys something. This is a funny one. This is Erika Kirk. Everyone grieves differently, and then they have this is Erika Kirk. Yeah. Where is it? Sorry, I'm searching, guys. Here's just a tidbit. Charlie Kirk Show podcast plummets again in Apple ratings. It's down to number 158. People just don't want to hear it if Charlie Kirk's not on it, you know? And then we've got the news pretty much making fun of Erika Kirk here.
I lived out here. I was here for 5 years.
I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was. I always thought it was very strange how she would go to drinks with one guy and then go to dinner with another. I personally would rather have coffee or brunch with someone than go. I don't drink. I find it unproductive, not because I'm holier than whatever. I just don't operate that way. I don't drink. I find it unproductive.
Did she just lie on national television?
Yeah, twice. The good thing she's like really godly and never dated before Charlie and stuff.
Yeah, they were tearing her up on there, and I think that was pretty funny. And here's another one. Everybody agrees differently, and here's Erika Kirk. This one's probably my favorite of all right here. It's just really kind of sums up what I'm thinking. Yeah, here. Oh, this is another really good one. Wait, I gotta turn the sound off, but I want to show you guys. This is a comparison of, Jackie Kennedy after the JFK assassination versus Erika Kirk after Charlie's assassination. And I think this one was a really important one to show. And I might actually put it also in a long form video just because I feel like it's so important to watch this to see the differences. All right. No sound because it's just a song playing. Just imagine the Rooster song by Alice in Chains in the background. That's what they have. You see, she's here with her kids. Just, all black, grieving, crying, breaking down. And you've got Erika Kirk just giggling. Hanging out on her podcast, Giggles McGee. Mm-hmm. It's just very telling, isn't it? It just tells its own story, I feel like. That was one of my favorite ones. But I cannot find the one I wanted to show you guys in my bookmarks because it was just kind of important to show you the amount of I really wish I could find it. I think it's gone. People. It was basically just showing once a piece of news emerged, it showed all of the social media of a bunch of different people, and all these people were saying the exact same titles. Here it is. Here we go. It says, the PSYOP has been confirmed. I just pulled the receipts. Every $7,000 club shill got the exact same anti-Canada script in the last 2 hours. Go look at your timeline right now. And this was actually posted I wanted to show you guys this like a week ago, and I forgot to show it to you guys. But this is literally what happens in these PSYOPs. Okay, go look at your timeline. Every single blue check conservative influencer who normally can't agree on a pizza topping is suddenly posting the identical 3 talking points word for word. Erika Kirk just went scorched earth. Erika just destroyed the conspiracy theorists, and Candace got slammed by Charlie's grieving widow. I took screenshots of 20 plus accounts. Benny Johnson, Brandon Tatum, bots, random MAGA verifieds, etc., and lined them up side by side. It's not similar. It's carbon copy identical. Same phrases, same order, same emojis posted within minutes of each other. This is textbook CIA style limited hangout plus coordinated messaging. They literally handed out a script and every paid actor hit send. When you see this level of synchronized posting across supposedly independent voices, you're watching a live psychological operation. Real organic outrage doesn't produce 20 clones using the exact same 3 buzzwords in the exact same order. They're trying to emotionally blackmail the entire MAGA base into silence before the December 15th tell-all stream. But, the tell-all stream was like a flop. And he says, don't fall for it. The same machine that murdered Charlie Kirk is now using his widow as a human shield while their bot army floods the zone with scripted tears. We see you. We're not shutting up, and we're definitely not buying the script. Copy paste armies versus the truth. We all know who wins. Post your own screenshots below. Let's make their paid propaganda trend for all the wrong reasons. And literally,
Talking about lizards, but missing the script.
literally, he just posts all of these same, like it's exactly the same stuff over and over and over. Absolutely scorched earth. I saw scorched earth. Oh gosh, it must have been 100 times. It must have been 100 times when that came out. Do you remember that? Do you guys remember seeing that? Erika Kirk goes scorched earth. That was pretty much the script that we saw. Erika goes scorched earth on Candace, and that was like the entire script. Yeah, Operation Mockingbird, right? Yeah, it was pretty wild. Pretty wild. But they all post like the same stuff, and then making sure so many people see the same exact post. And a lot of times they might just say something that isn't true, but like I've seen a lot of them saying, Candace Owens fans abandon her. Candace Owens fans turn on her so bad. That's the latest one. Her fans are turning on her. But yet you don't see any fans posting horrible things, right? You don't see any fans posting negative things about Candace yet. I've yet to see a fan turning on her like they're saying. But the point is they'll say it and then you're like, oh shit, her fans are turning on her now? That's crazy. What did she do to get her fans to turn on her? And you start questioning that stuff. You know what I mean? You hear that kind of thing and you start to go, wait, what's happening? What's going on? And you might accidentally think that that's something that's going on when it might not even be anything like that, you know? So they can post whatever they want. And when multiple people do it, it's a coordinated, like he said, it's like a coordinated psyop attack on us because they literally think we're that stupid. And that's another reason why I just don't like them. And I don't want to hear all the dumb shit that they say because I find it rude that they think we're that stupid, that we're just going to, listen to this and just be like, oh, and just ignore the things that are blatantly factual that they're showing us. It's like they just want us to pretend we didn't see it or ignore it. Or if the person telling us these facts is crazy, we should discount the actual facts because the person showing you the fact is nuts. But it's like, I don't care if they're nuts or not. If they're showing me a fact, I'm going to believe the facts that I see. And the things my intuition tells me is what they tell me. They might not tell everybody else the same thing. I don't care for Erika Kirk. I feel like she is lying. I feel like she is I don't know. I don't get a good vibe from her. And so I just feel like, my intuition tells me that's a big red flag over there. And so I listen to that. And then when I see the facts unfolding, it confirms my own suspicions. And that's how I form my opinions. I do not go online and get just bombarded with those things and start believing that nonsense. They haven't changed my mind yet. I've yet to get my mind changed by any of this shit. I felt a certain way when I saw the woman speaking. I didn't like it. I didn't like what she had to say. I didn't like how she said it. I didn't like the feelings I had from listening to her, all the way to the point where I see these things come out. Erika Kirk went scorched earth and all that stuff. And it's like, it didn't change my mind at all. Even if Erika Kirk went scorched earth, I was still like, okay, bitch, and what? You're still lying about everything that comes out of your mouth, all the way down to her boyfriends. Like, who cares? Who cares? And like, do you think that we're stupid enough that nobody's going to dig up the fact that you had 20,000 boyfriends and you were on a dating show? Like, I can't wait to date him next after Susan. Like, what? It's weird. She's weird. I don't like it. I don't like her. So yeah, they cannot control my brain with this nonsense because I just simply don't I'm not influenced by it. So there's lots of influencers out there, but people aren't influenced by it. Um, Speaking of influencers, I wanted to show you guys. I thought, let me know if you think you might enjoy something like this. But there was a couple of different actual social media influencers, like on TikTok and stuff, bigger ones, that are kind of assholes. And I really wanted to to make a video or maybe go live and talk about those uh influencers a little bit and just make fun of them because they were being such a-holes. And it had to do with like Christmas time and the things that they did for Christmas time. And I saw a couple of different people talking about a few different ones, and I just can't believe the stuff that they were doing. It was really outrageous, and I thought you guys might enjoy it as well. You might have seen stuff about it already though, but I just thought it was so funny that they were being such a-holes about these things that I thought maybe you guys might enjoy a video about it. But let me know if you would like something like that, because I just I think it would be hilarious to just make fun of those a-holes too. Candace Owens was wrong ever since she was tricked with that video from behind. By the way, I say Candace Owens only because it's funny. I consider her points. I like her. Woman intuition is definitely a strength. Dudes have it a bit too. Yeah, I feel like the intuition we get is forced out of us as we grow up. I think it's really strong as children. If you've had children, you know that your kids can usually sense when you're upset, right? You'll have a bad day or whatever, and they're like, mommy, daddy, are you okay? What's wrong? What's wrong? And what do? When there is something wrong and they're sensing there's something wrong, we go, nothing's wrong, honey. Mommy's fine. Like, we're fine. Just go play. Look, I'm fine. I'm smiling. I'm happy. I'm good. Just, go do your thing. It's going to be fine. And I feel like we program it out of our own children by doing that. And a lot of times we don't realize that's what we're doing, but they're trusting their instincts, right? They see our faces. They see our tone, or they hear our tone. They see how we change our attitude. They see the things we're doing that's like a little different, and they don't mind the dent in the wall. Exactly. And they kind of notice, and they have that intuition. They're getting a vibe, right? Something's not right with mommy or daddy. Something's going on here. It's weird. I feel weird. And they come to us and they ask us, like, what's going on? Are you okay? And we say shit like that. Don't mind the dent in the wall. Mommy's fine. I didn't kick that. I kicked that because I was having a great day. And I feel like we kind of program it out of ourselves because we just want to save our, children heartache of knowing that we're upset about things or whatever, So I think that's why a lot of times people have different levels of intuition, because our parents train it out of us almost. It's sad, but it happens. At least I think it does. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had for you today. I would you want to look into that one thing about the murders of Melissa and Mark Hortman. I want to look into that and see if he really did say that that governor wanted him to do it. I really want to see if that happened. Have any of you guys heard that story? And know about it at all, or what? Because I find that so weird now that that came up again, right as all this other stuff is happening, showing that this guy might be a little bit shady. I find it a little it's so suspicious. If you guys want to hear about that, I'll check into that. Or if you think it would be funny to make fun of some of these influencers. There's a lot of them. Maybe we'll do an a-holes around the world or around the country. And I'll find some really funny TikToks of some a-holes and we can make fun of them. We should pick a day of the week to do that. We could do that live and just go through the TikToks and just make fun of them people because they're such jerks. Dollops said I haven't heard about it. Yeah, that's the first I heard about it was on X, and I don't know if it's true. I didn't see it in that article, but the article I read came from the District of Minnesota. So I'm sure they're not going to say, I'm sure they're not going to be like, in our own very own governor, they're not going to put that out as the news, but I might dig a little bit and see if I can find something. But anyways, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Trying to get to 3 million subscribers by the weekend. It's only a few more days left. So hit that subscribe and help me out. Why don't you? For the rest of you guys, thank you so much for showing up to hang out. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. There's always something going on we could discuss. I also have my ground news source that kind of tells us where the news is coming from, the left or right. We can look at some of those things instead of only looking on X sometimes, because they have other things over there that aren't contaminated by opinions. But anyhow, thank you guys for hanging out for a little while. I'll see you guys on the next one. I love you so much, and I'll see you maybe tomorrow. Bye.